No,
he comes cornering in thinking he's like Tina Turner, fashionably late and everything.
Who do you think you are, Bruce?
I was here at 8 o'clock.
Need to have a look at yourself, mate.
8 o'clock for an 8 o'clock podcast.
He comes in, his video's the wrong way round.
He's not even looking at us. He's still organising his shit.
He thinks he's a TikTok superstar. TikTok. Look, he can't even get it right. There he goes.
There you go.
Comes in criticizing everybody else.
Now I'm worried I'm making this up about the Spotify rap because I can't find it on his Twitter.
So the news is that Youngie says that Sam's #2 most listened to song or band this year was Westlife.
And I said that's completely on brand. And I think that it might have been mine as well. There's nothing wrong with Westlife.
Maybe it is then. Maybe it was yours I was looking at.
It isn't because I don't listen to much music really. When I'm listening to my phone, I'm usually listening to podcasts and stuff.
Where does it say on my rap?
Yeah, I love a bit of Westlife.
I was going to see how long we could take to slip Westlife lyrics into conversation before he noticed. Basically,
don't we had a bit of
check out Kieran Green. He's flying without wings. You know,
we had a bit of that yesterday, didn't we, Alex? About French names of towns. It went on a bit long.
It got quite. There was reams of them.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
I agree with you.
So my top artists are apparently Lewis Capaldi is #1. Sorry, I'm going the wrong way. M83, Band of Horses, Green Day, and the Cinematic Orchestra.
Wow, that's diverse. That's
eclectic.
How do you find that out? Are you sorting through your records that are on top of the pile?
Records.
No, you got your Spotify wrapped up, don't you, Bruce? I'd love to know who had DN35 podcast as their #1.
Spotify what?
Bruce, do you have Spotify?
I've got Napster.
He's got an 8-inch record.
Napster.
Napster.
Okay.
He's got
I don't use Spotify. I use Apple Music. I don't use Spotify for ages.
That's why he's has to get rid of all of these. This is why he has to get rid of all these laptops because he tried to download a Beyonce album once and he got 35 malware viruses instead.
Off LimeWire.
You knew it was real off LimeWire, didn't you? Because it told you real version, not fake.
Trust me, bro.
Trust me.
You know, on your advent calendars, do you tear the doors off?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Do you tear the doors off, or do you just leave them open and scruffy?
No, I leave them open.
I leave them open. My wife takes them off. It's a bit of an issue in the house.
It looks better with them. It looks better with them off. It looks scruffy. It's like leaving the towel on the bathroom floor with leaving them open.
But there's usually pictures on the back.
Well behind.
What's the date today?
Is it? The 8th.
Yeah, the 8th. Oh,
I've not opened one yet. My son's been opening them every morning.
I've got 2 days.
That's
that's because you were tight and didn't get his own calendar, Mike.
He's got his own one.
That doesn't stop him.
Daddy, please.
That doesn't stop him.
Daddy, please, may I have some of the chocolate, please? No, it's mine.
I'm just too soft. Yeah, of course you can, pal.
Maybe just get up a bit earlier next time. No more watching.
Good evening, everybody.
Watch over now.
Obviously, we've got nothing to talk about this week, so we're opening advent calendars. Rob Clark would like to know, speaking of Sam, is it too early to mention his tweet slamming Artell for dropping Rose to the bench before we go on to score 8 goals in 2 games?
Never.
We did it about 20 minutes after, and we've not stopped. And he got quite wound up, didn't he?
Yeah, nearly as wound up as you talking about Doug Thorne.
Don't start.
He's making that bench look beautiful, Mike. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah. And it was nice to see him at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix earlier. I really hope someone from
the 4th official yesterday.
I'm disappointed that Matt Dean didn't notice that. I just like Disley's response. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Is it just me that can't really see Alex?
Yeah, he's got a bit blurry.
Yeah. I'm missing your face, Alex.
It's because
he's got.
What?
It looks like a crime fit at the moment. It's that kind of like blurring out CCTV footage.
So I've had to move. My studio is now full of Christmas presents, so I've had to move into the living room which is further from the router.
You mean you're covered next to the toilet?
Yeah. Tacklebury, I'm not having this.
He's a beautiful man, Tacklebury.
Yeah. No look shaming here, Tacklebury. Disgrace.
It's like one of them videos that you find in it on your phone or your computer that you took 9 years ago that you thought was really good, and you look at the quality now, and it's like did we nana take that with it in the 60s?
It's like when you look back at something like 2005 that was on the telly, and you look back and you're like, that looks like it was filmed in the 50s. How much the sort of technology's changed.
I was flicking through the channels earlier, and the other dart, the lakeside darts, so the amateur one that was on.
I live behind that, mate.
Oh dear, you should go. It's on at the moment, but
it's an absolute rip-off.
Oh, is it really? It was on a channel called Blaze TV, and they had no HD, and it was like my eyes were bleeding. I couldn't cope.
We don't have HD TV.
It is
one thing you should try.
Hang on, it's a cash only bar. It's cash only, but you can get cash out there for 25 quid.
Sounds
from
like
the ATM machine.
What, as in a minimum fee of £25? They charge you £25
when you go to the ATM. When to get the ATM, the card charge is 25 quid. Yeah, it's cheaper to get a taxi to the co-op than it is to do it there.
What you should do, I do a lot of this, is on the news channels on the Sky. I go to some of the obscure ones from like India and Nigeria sometimes, and the quality of the cameras over there is quite interesting.
You watch Nigerian news. There's no wonder your kid bullies you for your chocolate, is it? Really?
No, I don't watch it.
Nigerian.
No, sometimes when you flick through by accident, you see something, just watch it for like 20 seconds.
Mate, you need to Google Pornhub. Your life will change.
I was trying to find, because for a while
they didn't respect you then.
For a while they did have NBC News, which is American, but it was on like one of the high news channels, and I kept trying to find it, and it's gone now. So that's why I was flicking through them.
It was like when
I'm incredibly sad.
Sky had the German channels on the old analog, didn't it? And you'd be able to kind of watch things that Europeans would watch in prime time that maybe the Brits wouldn't.
Tutti Frutti.
Maybe.
When we went away with college for on a trip to Barcelona,
he never plays the music for his own stories, does he?
At 5:30 in the morning, there was on the TV. There was two scantily clad women stripping each other while people went round them on a go-kart to Bon Jovi's "It's My Life."
Was that your tutors?
I don't know, but after that was Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm seeing if this works. I'm going to try and fix it.
There is no French word for watershed.
It is like the old CCTV, though, isn't it? Do you remember when CCTV pictures used to watch them on telly? It was like one frame every 5 minutes or something. So when they flick through them, a person gone like 20 yards. That's what Alex is like at the minute. Moving a bit like a robot.
Yeah. How quick is he?
Is it that bad?
It's getting there.
Is it? Oh, yeah. Give me a moment then.
Is that DJ Dex he's got there?
No, it's my gaming pad.
Can you remember? I don't know if you remember, Rich, but last week he had a right go. There you go. Now what's he done?
Why do I find it
tap on now?
Last week he had a
that
right
wasn't
go
me.
To make sure we got it and make sure our mics and everything worked. And he had a pop at Sam and John, and yeah.
Look at this, and we're live. We're 10 minutes in.
Yeah,
right,
we've not even done this before we went live.
I can't hear you guys when I'm doing this Spotify thing.
What's Bruce doing?
Bruce, turn your mic off. Jesus Christ.
So football, isn't it?
Me and you were here. Me and you work, don't we, Rich?
Yeah, we'll crack on. It's fine. But
we don't need those other two. They were holding me and you back, mate.
Absolutely. Look, I'm like the Yoko Ono in this situation. I've come in this year and just disturbed things, and look what's happened. The Beatles are arguing with each other.
I'm not having that from Ben Bristow, and you guys wonder why he didn't win the award. It's nothing to do with our professionalism. It's to do with the fact we talk shit.
Look, Ben, we all know that Big Podcast is holding us down. It was a conspiracy all along. We were never meant to win it, but the fact that they put us on the ballot, it shows it's a victory for the little person.
We were on table 1, and I thought, oh, there you go, that's consolation. And then we was on the table with 6 lads that had flown in from Canada, and you're thinking, oh, they've won.
Yeah. And they were going back the next day, weren't they?
Bruce, mute yourself, mate. Your mic's making that noise again.
Alex, update. Oh, yeah, there you go. You can see
you. Oh, can you change it back? I can see you now.
You're muted.
Yeah. No.
Bruce, what have you done?
He turns up at 8 o'clock, doesn't he? You know, why we're not ready to go? Well, turn up with your mic working, Bruce.
Yeah. Why are we not live?
Why are we not live? Why are we not gone live? Oh, he's not happy, look.
Oh, he's not good. So if you do buy a laptop from Bruce, this is the quality of the product you're getting. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that, people. Can you see me now?
Should we go live? Should we start?
Nah,
roll credits.
Are we on?
Who's this? Bruce, you fixed it yet?
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life. They're in there, they're going crazy. Hey, they got penalty here, there'll be fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really, really good job. You can't make it straight from that.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the DM35 podcast. We're holding this together with duct tape and string, and that's about it. Josh says that's 12 minutes of my life I will never get back. Square says consummate professionals. Tackerbury says can't hear him, though. I don't understand why everybody's been so critical. But apart from our shambles of a podcast, because Bruce can't talk, what a lovely week. The Mariners score 8 goals. They're through. They beat West Ham in the FA Youth Cup. And all in all, it is a bloody lovely time to be a Town fan. Enjoy it, absorb these 7 days, and then maybe don't fly off the handle next week if we lose to Crew. So there we go. Mike, I've disconnected the power of my laptop, so I'm going to do that quietly while you talk about what you thought of yesterday's game, because we'll start with Morecambe, we'll go back to Stanley, and then we'll end on the FA Youth Cup.
I thought it was a good away performance. I thought it was a step above some of the away performances we've had where we've tried to not have too much of the ball. I thought we coped with conditions really well. It's a step up from the performances we've been having away from home. I thought we moved the ball quite well. I think Kieran Green continues to show an absolutely huge improvement in everything that he does, making lots of people, including me, look very, very silly. 2 bits of great bit of skill and passes to put a Bikru through. And following on from Tuesday, it's great to see a Bikru on the score sheet again. I think he's actually scored more goals per games than he's played in the league at the minute. And we've had a little bit of chat recently about a Bikru, haven't we? And I always think it's a little bit odd when we judge players that come on for 10, 15 minutes at the end of the game and don't make an immediate impact. Of course, you would like them to. And the fact they don't sometimes shows up more than it should. But if he was playing 10, 15 minutes at the start of the game, we wouldn't call him shit because he's not made an impact in the first 10 or 15 minutes, would we? So I like a Bikru. I think if we play him consistently and he gets game time, he will score goals. I think he's a young player and will frustrate us at times, but I think every young player does that. But yeah, it's great to see him get a chance and take that. we've mentioned before, haven't we, about lack of options up front and lack of a goal scoring, and both our strikers score on Saturday. And I just think that midfield now we've got players back, just looks fantastic, and even the strength on the bench to change the entire midfield yesterday, and you bring it on Davis, and within 30 seconds he hits the bar. So hopefully this time of season, when you've got a lot of games coming up quick and fast, having these players back and trying to get a few results together can really change the outlook of your season. So really, really encouraged. Obviously, they're a team that's not done too well of late, so you can't sort of get too excited. But I think we've put two good performances together in a week. Scored some goals, which is a thing we've lacked doing. So all good. Have you put your power lead back in now?
Ben Bristow says, Town being technically superior to the podcast. What a time to be alive. And it's nice that we've been able to pass over the professionalism to the club. There are there's lots of love to be given around, but Youngie, I mean, come on, the strength of depth to be able to bring on the likes of Davis and Rose in the second half. We haven't had that opportunity yet to see a team play a full 45 minutes where you thought we were in control. And I thought we got that yesterday, and I think we could have probably brought them on a little bit sooner, but my God, when they came on, what an impact they made.
I'm not sure we've ever seen a cameo of 10, 15 minutes as good as Jordan Davis's yesterday. To make an absolute immediate impact, completely changed the game again, because the game, I won't say the game was slipping away from us, but certainly Morecambe probably had more of the kind of middle part of the second half. But as soon as we made them changes, he just came on and like nothing could happen, and changed the game, and was just brilliant. Like that, if that shot that goes off the underside of the bar goes in, we're purring about that for weeks on end. It was a beautiful effort. And then that through ball to slip in Hume for the third, just to have that quality on the bench. As not just that, you've got Evan Corey, who has played most of this season, coming off the bench now. He's not coming on anymore as a kind of, oh, go and have a few minutes, lad, enjoy yourself. This is somebody now who we can say is an experienced pro. You've got Danny Rose there, who is a vet, I would deem as a veteran of the game, sat on the bench, ready to come on. He gets a goal. Suddenly we have a really good squad, and I think a squad that a lot of teams in this league will be quite envious of it, and especially in the middle of the park. I've said to you, we said in the group chat, I think I've said it on Twitter as well, I was really looking forward to the idea of Thompson and McCracken starting in midfield. And you saw it yesterday. McCracken got forward a lot more with Thompson playing there. He was given a bit more freedom to kind of join into the attack. And I mean, we'll talk about Kieran Green as well, but he just continues to defy everything that we ever thought of him. I know, again, and Mike makes the point of it was a team that were down there, absolutely. But this time last year, we went to Morecambe, who were much better than what they are now, and we played a 5-3-2, and we were happy with a 0-0. And just over 6 months later, we have gone there and absolutely played them off the park, played some absolutely blistering football, could have scored 5 or 6. Brilliant.
But they're a team that Artel mentioned it yesterday, saying that they're kind of in a false position. They're in a really good run of form at the moment. And, they've lost, they've won 4 of their last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. So, they're not at all any sort of, they're not terrible. I'm so glad I thought for the word terrible then. I'm glad everybody waited for me to say that.
I wasn't downplaying it. I just think, we just need to just recognise that. I think for quite a bit of this season, when we've talked about games and we've faded away, or we've looked leggy at starts again, we've talked about the facts about how many players we've had out of the side. And now we've got them coming back, and you look at the bench. As you said, Youngie, the game was, maybe they were coming into the game a bit, and we've got the ability to make three substitutions in midfield and totally change the impetus of the game again. And I think when you look back to some of those games where we maybe lost late on, or we looked leggy and got cut through, I think what we were talking about is having these options. So if we can keep as many of these players fit as possible, I think that midfield area is looking really strong. And I don't know, as a Town fan that's not been a fan as long as you guys, I don't think I've seen a better midfield than that. Possibly one or two players that would do, but as a whole, I don't think I've seen a better midfield than the possibility we've got if we can keep them all fit.
It says a lot about the quality of players we've had, but it is absolutely right. It was once of this parish, Ian Biglin said that Curtis Thompson was the best midfielder we'd had in 20 years. I thought it was a bit of a shout, a bit of a stretch, because it still does include, end of an era Stacey Caldicott, but I think Stacey Caldicott was still a better player. But I said yesterday on the pod, McEachran and Thompson have the chance of being the best midfield pairing we have had in 2 decades. And then you throw Davis in there, Green, who has sucked the life force out of Zidane and now keeps it in some sort of embryonic chamber, which he then uses on a weekly basis. It's just really good. Bruce, come on, it's going to work. What did you think?
I'm using the built-in mic, mate. Is that all right?
Yeah, that sounds better than what you usually have.
Oh, I know, the AirPods, mate, are shit. So yeah, you're on.
Anybody wants to buy Bruce some AirPods for Christmas?
You'll swap them for a laptop.
I've just got Claire's dodgy ones, but me being technical as I am, which I am supposed to be.
Where'd you get them? The Wheat Sheaf?
Hang on, Bruce. Don't you work in IT?
I couldn't get them to pair. Yeah, I know. I did.
He's senior head of IT. Shit.
I'm senior now.
Have you seen the debt the council's in?
I'm not at the council.
Because Bruce keeps selling all their laptops underneath from them.
I've got a proper job now.
Why do we need to buy another 20,000 laptops for school, Mr. Fenwick? I have no idea.
Right. Anyway, just going back to what I did see. Just going back to the match, bringing it back.
Hey, that's my job.
Somebody tweeted yesterday, a Morecambe fan. He said, "I know we're shit, but I wish we had the abundance of riches that Grimsby have had. Grimsby had in midfield and the substitutes they could bring on." And I mean, when's the last time that somebody said that we've got an abundance of riches, unless they were
probably
Hyde?
Weymouth?
Yeah, I was going to say Weymouth or Hyde or somebody, or Welling United. It's just, I mean, it's been a funny season, hasn't it? Really, so far with the, we've been up, we've been down. The results have been up and down, but yet because we've only drawn one, is it still? We're picking up, we're amassing a decent amount of points. Yeah, but just enjoying it, and it was like you say. I mean, they were awful. I thought they looked slow to close us down right from the start of the game. They just looked like we normally look, and that there's a reason. What are we? I think we're 17 points above the bottom two now. That's normally where
19 points from league safety, Bruce.
We've been we've been messing about down there, haven't we, for so long. We've just got to enjoy this. And I thought, I know we're trying to cover the game, and I just thought we did a job on them. It was a good performance. We capitalised on their weaknesses and their vulnerability, and it wouldn't have been wrong if we'd have won 5-1. They should have scored that block by Hume. We've slated him on the podcast. The save by Wright and then the follow up. The Hume's determination to not give a goal away there, and it's tongue in cheek, but if he'd have had that commitment to not giving crosses away earlier in the season, we'd have been, it'd have been different again. But in all seriousness, that shows that we've got players. They wanted a clean sheet yesterday, and they wanted to keep, and that was like Matt Dean or somebody said that, that was with 10 or 12 minutes to go, 2-0 up, and that would have changed the game. They would have suddenly been back in it, and we'd have been shitting ourselves for 10 minutes. And I just thought that we were a different side. I just think Tacklebury's comment about playing out from the back. I don't know if you noticed in the first half, but the keeper took the first goal kick, and then thereafter, it nearly came back like that Doncaster own goal that I share quite regularly. It blew backwards, and then from there on after, he learned that his goal kicks, we didn't take anything short. And that shows a bit of common sense. He kept his kicks he tried to keep his kicks flat, particularly in the first half, obviously, when we were playing into the wind. I just thought our game management was good yesterday, even before we were, 2-0 up. we just managed the game. We played well. It was a good performance, and we need to make sure that we need to enjoy this. You know, there's generations of fans that. Sorry, Alex. There's generations of fans that haven't experienced us being in the playoffs in this league. Bundle Park should be packed next Saturday. You know, the crowd dropped to below 4,000, and I get there were reasons and stuff, but there should be 6,000, 6,500 there. If we think we deserve, you know, higher league football, then the crowd should be there on Saturday. It was a good performance, and long may it continue.
So, in terms of trying to pretend to pass off stats as my own, so to show that we're playing common sense, so we had 353 passes yesterday against Accrington. We had 478, so they clearly went more direct and kept it long. But every pass seemed to go in the right direction. From what I was being told at the game, there wasn't a particular end where the wind was blowing from. It's quite a swirly affair, so it's kind of a crosswind rather. So it wasn't giving anyone any sort of advantage, but it did feel like it gave Morecambe just a little bit at the beginning, as you say, with that ball that came back and then went back again, and poor Hume trying to take a corner and couldn't do it. It was interesting, but you're absolutely right, Bruce. There was a tweet, I was just trying to find it, from somebody yesterday who was saying, let me just find it. I haven't done many.
Well, while you're looking for that, Youngie, I've done that thing on Spotify.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so who is your number one artist, Fenners?
I think my list seems to have come from the 90s.
At
number one, we've got The Beautiful South.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'll take that. That's acceptable.
Number 2, Roxette.
Who?
Number three is Embrace.
It's like Top of the Pops, isn't it?
Number 4, the Charlatans. And number 5, The Verve.
New entry, number 5, The Verve.
What's your number one song?
Spending My Time, Roxette.
So if you want to live like this, make sure you're listening to that song.
Listen to this for a playlist, right? Spending My Time, Champagne Supernova,
Nice.
Motorcycle Emptiness,
Yeah.
Rule the World, and Fading Like a Flower.
Is Rule the World what?
Very melancholy, Bruce.
What?
That's no Martika on there as well. I'm very disappointed in that.
Bruce,
No.
do you want to know what my number one song was on
Chesney
mine?
Hawks was at number 6. Sorry, go on. Yeah, go on, Alex.
Piss off. Piss off now. You have far too much power at the point of one finger to ruin my week, because this will be in my head all week. I've got a point to bring us back if you want it.
Make it Christmas number one. Sorry, yeah, bring it back.
No, because you're going to fucking play it when I start talking. But anyway,
I'll move off it.
This might bring a bit of Tuesday into it. I know you don't want to do that yet, but anyway, I think the last couple of games we have started moving the ball a lot quicker. And you're grinning like you're going to do it, and I think that's a fundamental difference from how we've been of late. And I think if you look to Tuesday, you can look at one goal and one bit of action which typifies it, and it's this Van Sorsen foul for the penalty. Davies gets the ball in midfield. One touch, he turns with it and plays it straight away to Van Sorsen, who gets a chance to run at one wing back. Now in the past, we wouldn't have moved it as quick. We think the week before we had Ainley in that position, let players get back in front of him. We slowed it down. It goes backwards, or it goes to Van Sorsen. He's got two players to go up against. So I think the fact we've got that quality in the midfield now, and we're trying to move it a lot quicker, it means Gus Davies got clattered just after he played the ball. So he played it at the first minute that he could, sends Van Sorsen in and gets one, and we get a penalty. And I think that's the fundamental difference we've seen in the last few weeks. Just calmness in the middle of the park, but also that intensity just to play the pass as soon as it's there, instead of holding on to it for a second or third or fourth touch, playing it backwards, playing it across. Just get it forward as quick as you can. And we saw that yesterday, but I think you can look at just that one bit of action on Tuesday, and that shows you the difference.
I found that tweet for you, Bruce. Do you want that?
Yeah, go on then.
So Laura GTFC on Twitter said, Alex has just got home from Morecambe away. He is absolutely buzzing. Said when they were singing "We're on our way to League One," he felt emotional. He's 14 and never really seen Town have success in the Football League. told him we need to remain calm and enjoy the ride. So it's lovely that those poor buggers who've watched, the Doug Tharms of the world.
Well, I'm 33 and I've never seen us. I'm 33 and I've never seen us any higher than this, other than that Slade season.
I'm sorry, Doug.
Mike, we haven't been promoted. You probably saw I put today or yesterday. We haven't been promoted automatically since 1991 in the Football League.
I've never seen us be promoted automatically.
And we haven't been promoted in the Football League since 1998.
But you've seen us play at a much higher level than this.
So in Sam's lifetime,
Oldham's ground's quite high.
In Sam's lifetime, good Alex, like that. In Sam's lifetime, we've not been promoted in the Football League.
Is that the Bruce approval? He's like, I'm Bruce Fenwick and I approve this.
Sam is youth.
Huddersfield might have been better. Huddersfield might have been a better one, but
no, I think Boundary Park is technically the highest ground. It's either that or the Hawthorn.
If it is, then that was the highlight of your pod year.
Fucking hell!
You know, Alex, he does have this sort of knowledge.
Your DN35 wrapped.
Jesus. No wonder we didn't win. Rossi says, last time we got promoted in the Football League, I would have been one. There are quite a few people out there that might well have kids now who last saw us get promoted in the Football League. There's been a change in atmosphere this week. Fans are talking about promotion might happen. And even Artel was talking about our chances in the post-match interview yesterday. There was a really good question and one that I wanted to bring up before we move on to, actually, it was from you, David, who said, do you think our current league position is allowing the club to look at different calibre of player for January window than they expected to be? I agree with you, David. I think they are. Yes, Youngie.
Yeah. If you remember in the Slade year, in January, suddenly he could bring in players like the quality of Curtis Woodhouse, couldn't he? Because suddenly we're a bit higher in the league. I know there was maybe circumstances to why Curtis Woodhouse came here for 6 months as well, because retirement, etc. But you're right, absolutely. I think if you're higher up in the league, suddenly for a player that's maybe on the fringes of a League One team or even like a youth from a Championship team or something like that, it looks like a far more attractive proposition. But the other thing that makes it a good proposition for us right now, and I think you're seeing it with the likes of Barrington and Jayden Luca, is because of the style of football that we are trying to play, suddenly I think a loan to us looks a far more attractive proposition now, especially for teams in the Championship and things like that want to implement a similar style of football. I think that they will look at Grimsby and go, you know what? We know that they're going to develop in a way that we want our player developing in. They're not going to a team that are playing big boot. They're not going to a team that are just going to be running around like headless chickens all over the place. They're going to a team where they want players to get on the ball and express themselves. So it might mean that in January, actually, our options are far more open to us. Because I do think we probably need to strengthen in some positions, right back especially. I think, if we can stay in that pack, I think our options will certainly be better.
We asked David Artel about this, didn't we, at the end of last season, about whether style of play is something that the Premier League and Championship teams look at. I think we made the comparison. Would you rather your player go on loan to a Cowley side that probably don't play like that, or a team that do? And hopefully the position we're in may add to that. I'm not too sure whether it increases the caliber of player we're in for permanently. Maybe the loans, I agree with Rich. Yes, I think you're probably going to be able to get better quality there. What I think it might do is something we've mentioned before, is it may tip us to maybe still go for the same players we were planning to anyway, because we're taking the recruitment process quite seriously. There's data, there's lists, there's research, but maybe we go for somebody a bit earlier. We say, we'll pay a little fee. We're going to go for them in the summer. We'll try and pay a fee. We'll try and add to the wage budget for an extra 6 months, but we'll try and do it in this window to get us over that line. I think I said before, we did that with Gavin Holohan, didn't we? We got him a bit earlier, I think Hurst said, because of the position we was in. So not necessarily whether the better quality, but it may aid us to get them earlier. Also, more players on our list may say yes than no. So obviously you'll have a list, won't you? And most of them probably say no when you're at the bottom. Maybe some of those players at the top of the list start saying yes.
The biggest thing that I've seen, though, is we're talking about all of this, and one of the biggest step changes in the club, no one is talking about players leaving. No one is worrying too much about players going out the door in January. That would always be the big problem. People being caught. Is there anyone in the loan system that could be only has 6 months? Is it a big?
All of them could be called. All of them.
But they're on a season-long loan. They're not
Yeah.
a 6-month loan. They don't end. And that's, I think, is the biggest change. We've got Danny Rose now on a new contract, which I think people would have been worried about. We're making those grounds and everybody else is sort of on a longer term. So that's the big step change for me. And that's where I think, Andrew, who's now spending most of his time with the Prince of Wales from the last photo I got shown in the WhatsApp group. I assume he's talking about Villa players on loan. But that's the step change, and that's what's the I don't care if these guys don't have two bits to rub together, and they do, but the way they act, the way they conduct themselves means that we're going to be better in keeping the talented players we do have and we do accumulate, because players do over time. Yes, Bruce.
And that's another reason that people need to get themselves down to Bundle Park, get money through the clubs into the club's coffers, and back this thing. We've been crying out for a team to get behind for best part of 20 years. Now's your opportunity. Get down there. Don't just, if you live locally and you can get there, don't just watch it on a dodgy stick or watch it in the pub or whatever. Get yourselves down to Bundle Park and enjoy this, because we've had years of shit. And now there is an opportunity, a genuine opportunity, to watch something good happen at the club.
Yeah, and I'm hopefully this is the start of something. This doesn't feel the same buzz that we had back in the Paul Hurst days of 2015, 16, 17, where people were genuinely already planning next week's away game. I haven't seen that this much, and I really want to see that happening, and I don't know how we can help improve it. I was really disappointed with the home attendance on the against Stanley, and I think, the people who stayed away, the 1,500 season ticket holders that didn't come through the gate, that shows what you miss. I understand, weather was pretty miserable, close to Christmas, and you got a chance to watch it on the TV. But come on, these guys just scored 5 for you and you missed out on it. And that's the reason why you go every game. And as someone who lives 200 miles away, I would love to be there every week. So, go for those massive load of exiles that do turn up away from home that can't get there and be their voice, because they can't be there.
I would say that one of the best things about Tuesday night is as soon as the attendance has slipped, the team have answered that. Now, they obviously didn't know that because they were 3-4-0 up before we knew the attendance. But the attendance has slipped. What is the reaction? We've gone and won 2 on the bounce. We've won 2 consecutively. And now instead of the fans saying to the team, right, well, we need something to back, the team's now turning around to them saying, look, we're giving you something to back. Where are you? Let's have you back. Obviously, there's reasons this time of the year. You don't want to test anybody's pocket. But if you can get down there, that would be great. I would also say, at the first sign of something going wrong, don't lose our shit, because we will lose games. We will get battered by a team. That's going to happen. Just get used to it. But for the first time, like Bruce says, in a long time, we're in a position where we've got a team that there's something we can get behind. We can see what's going on. For the first time, and I don't know how long, I can see a process, I can see a plan, and I can see us trying to implement it. Whether it works or not, it's another matter. But I can see we're trying to do it. So if we lose the next home game, I don't think we can all lose our shit. Let's just try and get behind it and see what happens.
And this is, again, my call out to the club. Make the Osmond a singing section again. Make it unreserved seating. If you want to swap, do it. Don't give 500 tickets to school kids. It's a lovely idea, but let's try and build an atmosphere at Blundell Park. Let's try and make it a fortress. You didn't really back it the time you did it when we played Barrow. You need to back it. You need to make people aware of it. You need to keep drumming on about it. And speaking of a drum, get a drummer in that wants to drum and wants to do it, because I think it was Kyle. Was it Kyle that does it? He said, oh, well, we've got nothing to drum about. That's the whole point. You've got a drum there, mate. That's the whole reason. You're meant to try and encourage it. Now, I understand the different atmosphere, but that's totally what happened in the 2015, 2016 seasons as well, when the away atmosphere was absolutely buzzing, because those guys never stopped. So get into it, make a noise of it, and if the club can encourage it, the better, because we've only got small clubs coming to Blundell Park, haven't we, in the next couple of weeks?
Port Vale might bring a few, I think, on the 29th, because they're riding quite high at the moment, aren't they? But other than that, no, I can't see. Oh, got a Crew. Actually, Crew might bring 500.
They're all small compared to us.
They can sit in the corner. That's fine. We've got a lovely cage for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Polly Bancroft said in her interview with Humberside this week, didn't she, that there was a plan for the atmosphere, that the club had come up with something that was going to happen in the new year. So we'll see what the plan is. But yeah, absolutely. What I want to see from the club on the socials this week is just hammering the fact that we've got a massive game on Saturday. Every couple of hours, do ticket sales updates. Get that, because it's the whole thing of, isn't it, about if people see a queue, they'll join the queue just out of interest to see what the queue's all about. Absolutely. Tell us how many tickets have been issued. Really get that interest going. Let's get 7,000 in on Saturday and really ramp it up. Suddenly, this isn't a massive game for the wrong reasons. This is a big game because actually we might go into Christmas in an automatic promotion spot. It's huge. So let's really kind of drive that positivity and get a massive gate at Blundell Park on Saturday and get the atmosphere going and start Christmas in style.
The Perspective man at the back.
The club, the staff, most of the staff are fans at the club, and most of the staff have been through what we've been through in the last 20 years. This is their time to enjoy going to work. How many times must the ticket office staff, you stood there and you've got to have a smile on your face, but we've been dog shit again. And you're a fan, and it's like, you're trying to sell a shit. It's like, if you worked at the theatre and you were trying to sell a show that you knew was genuinely going to be shit, you're not going to have any enthusiasm. So they should be buzzing. They should be enjoying going to work. There must be a time when working at the football club, when you're local and you follow it, feels like a chore, and it's different. Like Youngie says, I want to see them pounding it, so that people are moaning that they're tweeting too much. Let's do it. Let's back it.
Give us it. We'll control it for a week. You'll get it cancelled by the end of the week, but it'll drag some attention to it.
That's not a great idea.
Yeah, it is. At Ian Holloway. Coming for you, you fucking twat.
And I know we've moved on from loanees, but one thing I don't know if anybody else has noticed over a couple of interviews. And Rich mentioned Polly Bancroft did remind me of this. It has been mentioned a few times about if some of these players are called back, we've got plans for it. I'm just wondering, because it's been mentioned a few times, do you think we know somebody is getting called back?
No,
I've noticed it 3 or 4 times.
We've just been asked it, aren't we? We've just been asked it.
It's the 5 Ps.
Right. Okay.
What about? Don't throw 5 Ps on the pitch, Bruce.
You get banned for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Just preparation in it. We're just prepared. It's like the players and the backup players and the backup players, isn't it, on the transfer list? I think we're just being prepared. I don't think.
I've probably been conditioned. I've probably been conditioned as a Town fan to see that as a potential red flag. So yeah, probably just me.
Speaking of flags, we're going to do the Viking one again. We'll get that one replenished. Oh, by the way, I stole some stuff from Southampton to make up for it. I got a couple of their programs that were left out against the Everton game, and there was a keep racism like pin badge in the manager's little dressing room bit. I took that. So if they stole it, we're even now.
Oh, you showed them, didn't you?
Yeah, I never know.
I bet there's been crisis meetings at St Mary's, haven't there?
Well, there has, but
they're not tackling racism anymore in Southampton.
Those bloody racists!
we're getting dick 5 or 6-0. We're playing out from the back. All these mistakes. Yeah, but has anybody seen those 2 programs from the Everton game?
That manager's not wearing his pin badge anymore. Clearly, he's a massive racist, and that maybe they shouldn't have thrown my flag away.
That was a joke. That's what I mean about the Twitter account.
You could have nicked the trophy at the award. Could have nicked the trophy at the awards night, couldn't you?
No, we'd left by then, Bruce.
we'd gone for the longest taxi ride for one single pint.
Yeah, I have no idea where we went on that, but there we go. Anything we can do. I'll get the flag printed out, the Viking one, and we need a Greeny Esther one or a Zinedine Green Zidane, which the club got wrong. Went Zinedine Green. It was like your mum coming in trying to do a joke.
In that a Cluedo character.
Yes, with the candlestick.
What's that gif with the old bloke with the cap on and the skateboard saying, "Hello, fellow young ones."
Yes, Steve Buscemi. Jack Griffin says, in all honesty, though, if you offer me 10 points out of the next of these past 5 games, I would have taken that. Saturday's huge. We'll be all right, don't we? We should be looking forward to these. Here's a question for you, gents, before we move on to the Stanley game. This team now, full of depth, playing Doncaster again tomorrow. Do we lose 3-0?
No. We could do. We could also win 3-0, and I think that's the difference. Is anything can happen in football, so you could lose 3-0. I don't think we would. But I think going into every Doncaster game we've played in the last few years, we've never thought we'd win. I think if we played them tomorrow, we'd think there's a decent chance we could win.
Right, Stanley. Bruce, Youngie, I'll pass it over to you because I think you guys were there. Thoughts and of Grimsby Town 5, Stanley 2. Yes, Youngie.
Yeah, the first half was the best 45 minutes of football, definitely at home all season, but possibly for the rest of the season. Literally from the first minute, we were on the off. I think Luca made a driving run in the first minute, got a shot away, got a corner, scored from the corner within the first 2 minutes, and that just set the tone. I think it was maybe obvious that the tactic was clearly get them early. I think they'd played 120 minutes, haven't they, on the Saturday previously? And they did look tired. And I know that Bruce said about Morecambe being bad yesterday. I thought Accrington were far worse than what Morecambe were yesterday, especially in that first 45. Yeah, they showed a little bit in the second half, though we gifted them certainly the second goal. And we kind of backed off, didn't we, in the second half? But I thought for the first 45, he was superb. Jaden Luca, we haven't really talked about him tonight, have we? He is such a player. He is really good. I mean, he's got a great first touch. Look, he when they say that good players have a glide rather than a dribble, that's what he looks like. When he has the ball, he looks like he glides past people. In fact, going back to yesterday's game, there was that position where he was filling in with right back because I think Cass has gone off injured. And he kind of got the ball from the right back position, glided into the inside and got a pass away. He looks like a real quality player. And he showed that. And the other one that when we talked about him earlier was Van Thornton. I think he looks so much better playing off the left-hand side rather than the right. One, because he's got Hume coming in on his outside, which gives him options. But the fact that he can cut inside on his natural foot and create chances, I think I don't want to see Van Thornton on the right now. He has to play on the left. And I think the first 45, again, that was definitely his best for the club. And may that continue. Long may it continue.
Go on, Bruce. What did you make of it? Did you even bother going in the Lower Flinders bar? Did you enjoy it so much?
No, I did stay out on. I stayed out on Tuesday. I had to drive
that is a sign of a quality performance if Bruce doesn't spend the second half in the bar.
The buses are a nightmare on a Tuesday night. So we could get there, but getting home's a nightmare. So we have to park. So I have to drive. So yeah, we didn't get there till I think we came out just as the players were coming out. But I think Youngie sort of said most of it really. I was just going to mention Van Thornton. I thought he had his best game for Town, and it's funny with these young lads. We're talking about Luca. We're talking about Van Thornton having his best game. It's only a few weeks ago that most of us were doubting. And somebody will say that they weren't, but we've had conversations on here that now these young players get sent on loan to clubs rather than playing in the reserves and stuff like that. And I've had discussions with people: are they good enough? It just shows that with a little bit of confidence for the rest of the team, that these youngsters grow with the team when they're inexperienced. And he was brilliant. That especially like Youngie says, that first half he was just very, very good. And it's his close control. You can tell he's played on AstroTurf a lot of his career. The ball just looks like it's on a piece of string about a foot from the end of his toe, and he just he glided. Youngie said Luca glides. I think when he gets going, he glides. It was a good performance. Second half was a bit flat, and it was nice when we got the own goal because that sort of just settled everybody's nerves quite quickly after they'd scored that first. And yeah, the less we say about the goals that we conceded again, but yeah, no, it was a good performance, and it's nice to get that. I think that back to back, the fact that we won at home has bred this confidence that has come from the away win yesterday. If we'd have lost at home again and then we'd won away, everyone would still be going on about the home and the away thing. But now everyone's behind the whole thing. And I think that's because we got that win on Tuesday. And that'll hopefully, like I say, bring extra fans in Saturday, and has also brought the fan base, I think, closer together and more in agreement. The Artell in, Artell out, he's a fraud, Jason Padgett. They are a little bit quiet at the moment. And like Mike says, hopefully if we do lose a game now, they'll remain quiet and they'll back the club and they won't just keep shouting for the manager because we've lost a game or two.
I do. Look, everybody's allowed an opinion. I do quite frankly think it's ridiculous if even anybody's had that discussion this season with where we are. What I would say about the young players, Bruce, you're absolutely right. But they're young players and they won't do that consistently. There will be times when their form will dip, and I think it's important for fans to understand that as a young player, their form will dip. It doesn't mean they're shit. It just means they're inconsistent. They're learning their way through men's professional football with some of their first loans out there. So I think that's important. Barrington has looked great in some games. His form dips. And I think the same is going to be for Luca, and the same has been true for Bikwu. So hopefully if these players are showing us this level at some point, when their form does dip, we don't just start calling them a shit again. So hopefully we understand what's going to happen there. I do think we are in wide areas. Sorry, Bruce. I still say what I said a few weeks ago. I still think we need an experienced wide player. I think we're very inexperienced in wide areas at the minute.
I was just going to say the same thing. We've got all these midfielders coming back, but a lot of them are central midfielders, and we've got no problems with strength in depth there. But as you say, if the form was still reliant upon Luca, Barrington, Svan Thorsen, we're still reliant on them either side of, because you're not going to play. I think he's going to play. It looks like Rose and Bikwu are an either or. I don't think he's going to play, and I don't necessarily think it would work. Bikwu, we haven't really discussed him, have we? In the whole, unless you talked about it while I was sorting my headphones out.
Yeah, I mentioned him at the start.
I mean, he looks a different player with the confidence of the manager sending him out there as his main target man and not coming on for 5, 10, 15 minutes here or there. He looks a different player last couple of games.
One of the things I was going to say is the because we play a Bikwu up front, I think we're playing in a different way. We're playing with a higher line. It means that what we've had, maybe because of the restrictions of how we've had in midfield, but the team has sat further back, which means that Rose has been completely isolated. He's a different player to a Bikwu. He goes searching for the ball and may even suit better later on in a game when people are tired. But a Bikwu plays on the shoulder of a player. It means that the team are now playing with a slightly higher line, which means they're more connected to him, which means we got those two opportunities. Those two opportunities where Green put it through for a Bikwu against Morecambe would not have come up with Rose in the team. Not because Rose is a poor player or anything like that, but because it's a completely different way he plays. He plays with his back to goal rather than on the shoulder of the defence. And I think that stretching will work for teams, especially away from home. It might not necessarily always work, but playing teams that are down at the bottom, I think it might be even. Actually, no. Thinking about it, why would teams from the bottom play a higher line? They wouldn't do it. It should be better playing the likes of Crewe and Port Vale, who are going for the win, rather than those teams that are wanting to keep it tight and see what they get. So it's going to be interesting to see what we pick. Nice to have a couple of different options. I felt for Stanley fans more than anyone. I thought Morecambe looked a little bit brighter than they did. Stanley just looked completely devoid of. They just looked listless. I've seen that version of Town so often, where they've got no guidance, no drive, no nothing, and they don't get tight. They leave you with that extra half a yard of space so that you can turn and get away from it, and they're just pointing. That's all they're doing, is just pointing, trying to organise themselves and hope that'll get them through when they don't. And it's just, I felt for Stanley fans because I've seen that team. Fuck knows what's going to happen to them when they play Liverpool in the FA Cup.
I think what I said earlier sort of is my thoughts on the Accrington game. I think it was just the movement of the ball and the quickness. As Rich said, putting Svan Thorsen on the left, that's a mass stroke. Didn't think of that. But you think who's one of our best outlets in terms of delivery? It's Denver Hume. Now, if you bring in Van Sorsen and he's running at a player coming inside, it makes all sorts of room for Hume in there as well. And in terms of Ibikwu, he scored 4 in under 4 league games. You need to play the player. If you pay him for 20 games, I think he scores you 8 or 9 goals. He needs to play, and he hasn't played. But we've all drawn conclusions on him when he's not played much this season.
Can I just make a point of? I know we're talking about giving everyone credit, and this is not directed at you, Mike, but Harvey Rogers, especially against Accrington Stanley, was really, really, really good.
He was.
He was really good. Yeah, it's his job, and he does it better than Doug Tharm. So I'm worried now because he's going to miss the Crew game. I know they're missing their star striker, but Town kept a clean sheet against Stanley until he got taken off, and I don't think that's not just a quick dig at Mike's love for Doug Tharm. I think he genuinely does bring something at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it. And I'm sure if Doug got a run of games and he can try and make that position his own, I'm just glad there's competition at the back. And we don't talk about how good McJanet is, because that 8 out of 10 just fades into the normalcy of the rest of the squad. Both Youngie and Mike are putting their hands up. I'm going to go to Youngie because Mike. No,
you just call me out the right reply.
I didn't call you out. I was just saying.
No, I just wanted to clarify. I really wanted just to quickly clarify something. Rogers has been fantastically improved this season compared to last season. I still think he's got issues. I don't think Doug Tharm.
Yeah, he's got some bloke following around trying to nobble him.
No, what I'm saying is,
I don't. Sam, Alex, you'd have muted.
Yeah, I would have done. Yeah, do you know what? I apologise to Sam.
I don't think Doug Tharm is head and shoulders above him. Last week when we had the discussion, it was about leadership on the pitch. I don't think Doug Tharm is anything special in terms of his ability in this league. Don't get me wrong.
Clip that. I'm going to write.
No, I think he's solid enough.
56.
I don't think he's McJanet, for example.
44.
I think McJanet will be playing.
Special. Yeah, he's nothing.
I think
special.
McJanet will be playing in League One next season. I don't think either Rogers or Tharm are anywhere near that standard.
I think they will both be playing in League One next season.
Put the advert in just as he says Tharm is nothing special when you're editing for the podcast. Just like you cut him off.
You're all a
week.
bunch of arseholes. Absolute twats, the lot of you.
Mike, what do you think about him going to Abu Dhabi? Do you really think that's a professional approach that he should take? Yeah. What were you going to say, Youngie?
I was actually going to make it. So Wayne's made a point about Denver Hume's delivery is far above this level. If there's one player I might be worried about that might go in January, it's Denver Hume. He's only got 6 months left on his deal. I think he pretty much stayed with us. The feeling I get, and I might be wrong, but the feeling I get that is he only signed the year extension because he probably didn't have many other options at this point. But obviously he's a player that's played above this level before. He's played Championship for Sunderland. I do maybe worry that in January, if somebody came in with a little bit of money for Denver Hume, we might buy, maybe knowing that he might not stay at the end of the season. I don't know what everyone's thoughts on that are.
I don't mind. I think he's great, but I trust this club now. If they sell him, they will, or I would imagine they've got 4 or 5 players already ready. They will have to, won't they? Because of him leaving in 6 months.
I don't think left back's an area that teams are usually massively short on. So I mean, it's not like a striker scoring goals or a midfielder driving forward. It's
that's what Thomas doing now.
So I don't think there's a massive call for left backs around the place. A striker scoring goals, yes, somebody wants that. Everybody wants that. A midfielder leading and being creative, everybody wants that. I don't think Denver Hume he's been great for us. I don't think he's been sufficiently good enough to attract a move that might make him move in January. I could be wrong, but he does only have 6 months left, so he's the only one looking at the good improvers this year that we are open to that with. You're quite right.
Bruce, you've been slightly quiet.
I was just thinking, and I've thought about it a couple of times when we've spoken. I know it's completely off track, and I mean, you may be going to bring it up later, but we should send our best wishes to Tommy Witherington. I don't know if that you'd already thought of that, but obviously you'll know more than we do, or I don't think you probably will know a lot more. But he was taken ill this week, wasn't he? And he's been into hospital and he's recovering. He had too many strokes or something, didn't he?
Yeah. Apparently he's going to be back pretty quick though.
Sorry?
He's apparently going to be back quite quickly.
Yeah. I just hope he takes the rest that he needs and listens to medical advice. But we've met Tommy on met him, and we've had him on the pod, and we've spoken to him a few times, and yeah, he's like I say, just on behalf of all of us, I'm sure that we send his best regards and hope he gets well soon.
My light's gone out.
Have I taken your job? Have I done? Is that
no, I don't mind it at all.
Is that the host job?
No. You're absolutely right. Are we doing calendars today?
Yeah, we can do, but we need to move on. Should we just very quickly cover the youth team?
Yeah.
He has taken over running.
Yeah, he has. Fucking hell. It's like having Sam on.
Without him using the long words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, phenomenal. Bruce, what did you think of the youth team beating West Ham?
It was a very solid performance, and I heard David Artell's interview with Matt Dean. I think it was either before or after the game. I think it was after the game.
It was after.
No, it might have been with Scott actually. And he was saying Scott finished his interview yesterday on because obviously David Artell and Sean Pearson and obviously Seb Orton as well all stayed back and travelled over after the players to Morecambe on Friday after the game. It was a really good performance. I was a bit disappointed with West Ham, and I think Woodsy summed it up well when he said that we didn't play quite as we wanted, but just for effort, bodies on the line, tackles, blocks, we restricted them to very little, and we scored a really, really good goal. I'm sure you've seen it now. But yeah, it was just a good night. There was nearly 600 in the main stand, which will be the most that a lot of those players have ever played in front of. Yeah, it was just an all-round good night, and we reached the fourth round, I think, for the second year running.
I think the difference was, I think Notts Forest. Sorry, Alex. I think Notts Forest had a checker trade game.
Nottingham Forest.
Nottingham Forest. Oh, I'll get in trouble. I remember that. Yeah, I think Nottingham Forest had a checker trade game or something last year, didn't they? So they were a bit short. I think Artell made the point in his interview that wasn't the case with West Ham. That was their, their full strength academy.
They had a couple of really good. I think some of you watched it anyway, but they had a couple of really, really good players. But I got sidetracked a little bit. But what Artell was saying is we're trying to play the same way through the academy, through the youth team, and through to the first team. And you could see that it didn't always come off, but we were trying to play out from the back, and we were trying to play a passing game. And they're obviously it is. It feels off the pitch and on it that they've all bought, all the staff and the players and the coaches have all bought into something, and they are buying into it.
That Grayson Giles has got a really good record, hasn't he? Goal scoring record at youth. I think he scored 20 plus goals last season, and I was really impressed with the movement and the finish from that glancing header. He looks like he could be a real solid player, and obviously we've seen a few of them play in that Chesterfield game as well, haven't we? The lad at right back, and so there's definitely players in there that you think to yourself have probably got a good chance of getting contracts next season, which is really hopeful.
And it's good that we want to start blooding a few of these players. As you said, we've had a few of the lads in match day squads. I didn't watch much of it. I watched the last 10 minutes. I was busy doing something else, but there was one bit I saw from Seb Orton which I thought was brilliant, which sort of I don't think got much credit. Is their forward got the ball in behind and he had back to go and it was just bouncing up ready for him to hit it. And Seb Orton's really difficult to describe. Just put his arm around him, hit the ball up in the air,
it away, didn't he?
And caught it over his head. I was like, that is just so calm to think to do that. Just put your arm around him, hit the ball out of the way, and then grab it above his head. I just thought that was, in the last couple of minutes of a big game, that shows quite a lot of clear thinking and bottle. And we've seen he's got that from his appearance at Carlisle, obviously. So, full credit to them. I think that's brilliant and great to see the youth team doing well under Woodsy. But we wouldn't think anything.
I'll tell you something. West Ham will be sick to the fucking sight of Neil Woods. He's either slotting them away in front of them or embarrassing them in the FA Youth Cup. And it's not the first time. Obviously, there was last year. There's about 10 years ago as well when they went to Newcastle. No, it wasn't that long ago, was it? They went to Newcastle as well. The youth team continue to be a shining light, and hopefully, as the club develop, that's going to become more of a stringent part of what we do. I'm just really delighted for them, and I don't know when the draw is. Tacklebury is asking, but. Hopefully, if it's a home one, we fill it. Let season ticket holders in for free or something. I don't know.
Can we play more games on that pitch?
No, the pitch does look ropey, doesn't it? It's taken.
You know, a few
battering
weeks
in
ago,
weather.
when he first said that, when ITEL first said that, we were like, "What's he on about?" And now we can see what he's on about.
Well, it's the weather, isn't it? I don't think
it's nobody's
Arsenal
fault.
really-
It's the weather. It's nobody's fault.
But yeah, it's a bit of a. Anyone else to say anything? Have we missed praising any players this week, or have we, got to hand anything out in terms of abuse to anyone?
I think maybe Holloway losing his mind before the Swindon game was quite funny, but they won, so I can't really say too much about
2 weeks.
that.
That's
He will.
Mike, you're right.
That's the best result for us. That was the best result for us because he'll be there in 2 weeks. Ghost. Oh yeah, I've been asked to put forward again the Ghost at Swindon as the theme. My friend Nick, who has been on the At the Match podcast, is desperate to dress up as a ghost at Swindon in a week or so time. So can we please push forward the theme of Ghosts at Swindon?
Can we do what they do on
Will it
Stag
look a
Do's when
little
they
bit
say
racist?
when they say it's dressing up? Can we all tell him that it's dress up, and then when he turns up, it's just him dressed up? You see the videos on social media of them doing it at Stag Do's.
I can't make it, unfortunately. I'd love to be there. I've got a commitment with Youngie that day.
Big game, Bruce, isn't there?
I would love to be there.
Big
I
game,
like Swindon as an away day. I've been a couple of times and stopped over, but I want to hear the away end singing Ian Ran Away to the tune that we used to sing, Ian Holloway, Holloway. Ian ran away.
Oh, no, there's...
Away, Ian ran away. I want that nice and loud.
So, Bruce, there's already been a song version of that that's come out that was in the London group, which is Holloway's a cunt, is a cunt, Holloway's a cunt.
Hang on, you tell me off for swearing, and you have to do the edits.
Yeah,
and then you drop that one.
That's the song.
Holloway's a cunt, ole ole.
Yeah. You can buy a ghost outfit and a flat cap on Amazon for £10. Buy them.
There we go. That's a great idea.
Imagine all the
Ghost
different
in flat
accents
caps.
singing that in the London group. He's a cant.
It was just before we did all the French.
Are we gonna welcome him when he comes? I want to do a Dennis Pennis style interview with him as he's trying to walk in.
Don't give him the attention that he craves. Just beat him on the beat his team.
You're going dressed as a fucking ghost.
You're saying, "Oh, can you sing this song?" What are you on about?
Yeah, sing the song, but we don't need to. Well, yeah.
Don't give him any attention, but sing this specific song about him for me. But no attention.
Abuse him. All right, I take that back. It was a stupid comment. Can we play calendars now?
Yes, please. I've never done that.
Do you know what? I know we've got a song for it, but I've just realised we should have done the Yorkshire TV calendar thing, shouldn't we? More than anything. But it's the time you've all been waiting for on the 8th of December. It is for Bruce's only reason why he stays on the podcast. We've lost 15 viewers since the theme tune started, so that shows exactly what people think of the game. It is the game you've all been waiting for. It is Bruce's Play Your Calendars Right. He will pick every calendar that he has from his archive of Grimsby Town calendars. And from the month of December, Mike and Youngie will, in the popular game show, go higher or lower, and I will judge which is the better. We are not going for necessarily the better player, but how they are held in esteem in Grimsby Town, which also includes how good they are. Which means that I can be quite autocratic, shall we say. Bruce, I will leave it to you. Yeah.
Can I just say before we start, just draw your attention to the fact that we haven't got room to squeeze this in on the 22nd because it's the DN35 Christmas podcast. So Christmas jumpers, bring a bottle. We'll all have a good time. We'll get this together.
Molotov cocktail.
Should we bring a bottle? Who are we sharing the bottle with? We're all in our own homes.
Well, if I've got to explain that to you, you dopey, then there's a problem.
Bring a bottle to share. Who am I sharing it with, Bruce?
Ben Bristow is saying we've actually sold
and make a joke about sharing. Right. Anyway, let's go. Right, Youngie, you can go first because Mike's been stupid.
That's fair.
we're starting with your starting player for the game, Mr. December.
I'll tell you something. This is just going to be James McEwen.
2024.
Okay.
It's Abo Issa.
Oh, it's a bit of a tough one, that. Yeah, it's a tough one, Abo
really
Issa,
is,
because I don't think he did score some very good goals. Ended up being a disappointment. So I'm going to go higher than Abo Issa.
Higher than Abo Issa. You've got 2023. December 2023. One of our own, Harry Clifton.
Yes, come on. Yes.
I don't think we need Alex for that one.
No, I'll tell you something. Youngie got really excited when he saw Kieran Green come up then.
Right, higher or lower?
You know what? In my head, I was going, please be Kieran Green.
Right. This is tricky, though. This is a tricky one, this one.
Harry Clifton.
Higher or lower than Harry Clifton?
I mean, you know what? I'm going to chance it. I'm going to say higher than Harry Clifton.
You've got 2001. You've got a shout.
Oh.
You've got December 2001.
Marcel Cass.
December 2001. Danny Coyne.
Oh, that's higher. That is
Higher.
higher. Yeah, Danny Coyne is higher.
Mike's going to come for the game show and not get home.
No, Mike's going to do a whole proper QPR away. This is. He's going to take it.
Snatch one. Yeah,
higher or lower than Danny Coyne?
Oh, lower than Danny Coyne.
You've got 2020. Again, you've got a fair chance.
Very good.
No, for fuck's sake.
It's James McEwen.
Yeah, love you, Macca, but you know.
We love you, Macca, but not
I like Macca, but
I'll be honest, I'm slightly worried that most of the calendars will be Macca for December.
Right, here we go. Higher or lower than Macca?
Do we clarify that we get? Firstly, Bruce, do we clarify that we do? Do we get anything for a pair in this game?
No, nothing for a pair in this game.
I'm going to go lower than Macca.
You've got 2022.
It's James McEwen.
Oh, it's James McEwen.
Nothing for a pair in this game. Do it. I knew this was coming.
Mike, you're in.
I'm happy now as long as I can play one round.
You're in.
I'm
James McEwen.
And that's the end of the game.
Bruce, it's a tough one. I'm going to say lower.
You've got 1997.
Was that good?
Did you go lower, Mike?
Yeah, you went lower.
I go lower. Oh shit,
Mike, you came, you saw, you went.
And I fucked off.
The other week. You just turned Alan Buckley.
Not a player. Not a player. It's Joker Cat.
I'm sorry, Mike.
He was a very good player in his day. To be fair, he was very good. Walsall's all-time leading goal scorer.
I definitely.
Right, you're back in the hot seat. Alan Buckley.
You know what? Call it hunch. I'll go lower.
Oh, it's
I
Bill
bottled
Shankly.
I bottled it. I should have gone higher. I meant to go higher.
Right, you've got 2019, Youngie.
All right.
Oh.
And you're going lower than Alan Buckley.
You can put the
And
entire
you've got
squad
James McEwen, but this time it's not a problem.
but
You're
it's
still in the
signed,
office. James McEwen, there's 3 calendars left.
and they're all James
Higher or
McEwen.
lower?
I'm going to go lower.
Lower than James McEwen. You've got 2021. I fear for you.
Best James McEwen.
Oh, it's James McEwen. Mike.
It is James McEwen again, people.
There's
I'm going
2
higher.
calendars left, Mike.
Higher than James McEwen.
Sorry?
Hi.
Higher.
Higher than James McEwen. You've got the relegation team of 2004.
What league was he in?
League One.
December. It's got to be a good player.
I think we might need the judge for this one. And this is important going to the last card. It's Ian Anderson.
I can't even
We've
fucking
got
remember
James
him. No,
McEwen
James
and Ian
McEwen wins that one.
Sorry? Right, Mike. You've made it to the final round. Get
Oh, hang
this
on, Bruce.
right.
Give me 2 seconds. Let me change the let me change the music. Let's give it a bit more drama.
Did he go anyway? Did he go higher?
I can't remember.
Alex,
thought
what
he
did
went
he say?
higher.
He went higher than James McEwen.
I don't remember. I played the fifth.
He's done a Sam. He's done a Sam.
Youngie,
Disgrace.
is it Youngie then?
I said
Yeah,
higher than
Youngie.
James McEwen.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so unlucky, Mike.
What is this, Bruce?
Youngie,
Yeah.
Well,
Matt,
Mark
you're-
Walter,
you're
nobody,
back in.
Mark Walter, nobody likes a grab.
You're back in. You're back in with Ian Anderson and Youngie. What's
Okay.
he go to win?
It's a risk. I'm going to go higher. Higher than
Ian Anderson. You've got 1996.
Well done,
Oh.
Youngie.
Yeah, it's
Go fuck yourselves, a lot of you.
Shut up, trying to bring the integrity of the game to its knees. Disgrace.
Didn't get that on ITV, did you?
It's the Mighty Mariner. The original.
Yeah.
Come on, he is higher than.
Does he
Yeah,
beat
absolutely.
Ian Anderson in a game of football?
Yes, he fucking does. Yeah.
Does he?
Youngie, congratulations. Is that your
Thank
second
you.
win? Or
Second
third?
win.
Second
No,
win.
second.
Mike,
Yeah,
thanks for coming.
absolutely.
You all right?
Gee.
Where do I get my bus fare home? It's
You
been a
don't get
great
anything.
day.
You drank the green room dry.
It's just the experience. There you go, grass. Thanks,
You
Mark.
need some better experiences in life if that's an experience.
Unbelievable.
I've just
Thanks,
had a lovely
Both
day.
Sam and Mike are on one game bans.
Why am I on a game ban?
You cheated.
No, I didn't. I came clean.
No, he was honest. I think to be fair,
I
Yeah,
made
he
it
was.
abundantly obvious I'd gone higher. Because I
after
said,
Youngie mentioned it,
yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I'll be honest.
And
I
then
didn't know
called
what
a
Alex
viewer who
said.
was watching it called him a grass.
I just wanted justice for James McEwen because he obviously doesn't want to be known as lower than Ian Anderson. So that one was for Macca. Justice for Macca.
I don't
Justice
know
for
who Ian
James
Anderson
McEwen is a
is.
great pod title.
Yes.
justice for James McEwen.
Right.
and probably has more meaning than we think.
Exactly. You guys, you've had 17 minutes extra from us, even though you're all freeloaders. Is there anything else we need to talk about before we leave? We will do a crew pod. I'm really impressed with everyone I put out. Can we do a crew preview pod? And 3 of you came back instantly. I'm very proud of everyone on the podcast for that. Is there anything anyone needs to talk about before we go?
Don't forget the Christmas party pod.
Don't forget the Christmas party pod.
I'm
am.
very much looking forward to the Santa.
Oh yes, I've got my Secret Santa gift ready to go.
Oh yeah, I've got to send mine out as well.
Yeah, mine's ready to post.
Mine's
And we
taking
need-
some
we need to-
logistics.
It's not these lot that are watching now, is it? But we want to encourage. We want as many people getting pissed at home on their own, Mike.
Yeah.
In Christmas.
Sharing a
jumpers
bottle, bringing a bottle.
that night. Bring
Singing
a
all by
bottle.
myself.
I
Proper
want to
King Justin Big
see.
Brother.
I want to see a pub in Grimsby put us on YouTube, on this big screen, and people coming to watch us. That's my
could do
vision.
it. Me and you could do it from a pub, Youngie.
That's
I
true.
can
Well,
really
I'm before that, I'm at the Royal Oak in Otley Clay for a meal at 5 o'clock. So I might just get them to do it there, and I'll do it from
So-
there.
If you do listen to this on catch up on podcast, try and come along to the live show on the Sunday because it's going to be a bit different, isn't it? And we'll be interacting with people. So if you get the chance, come and watch it live on YouTube on the 22nd.
Apparently,
Mike won't have a bottle.
I'm going to bring my own, but I'm going to bring several. Actually, it's Swindon the day before, isn't it? I might be a bit delicate. Are you going to Swindon, Youngie?
There with the dog.
No, I'm DJing the party that Fenners is at in the evening. So I will give you an update. If basically it's the yearly run through, or whether or not Bruce goes to the Swashy afterwards, I always end up giving him a lift. And basically, him and his missus have like a mini domestic to decide whether or not they go in or not. And then basically, I act as taxi. This has gone on now for about 3 or 4 years.
We're definitely not going.
This is what happened. So 11 o'clock will come, and Claire will go, we're definitely not going to the Swashy. And then Bruce about 11 with his tie around his arms go, yeah, we're off to the Swashy. And she's going, so I will keep you updated.
Oh, nothing ends. Nothing. It's like nothing good comes of answering a phone call at 2 o'clock in the morning. Nothing good's with ending the night at the Swashy.
Yeah.
It does. That's wrong. Anyway, go on.
Oh, really? You want to care to explain, Bruce?
Come on then.
The Swashy, I won't have the Swashy knocked. The Swashy dance floor after midnight on a Saturday is the place to be in.
It is
Bleak
banging.
Falls.
We had a good night there, didn't we, Bruce? We lost Sam, and it was only 45 minutes after we noticed we lost him. We went and looked for him.
Yeah.
He was next
sat
door
outside.
He was singing Westlife in the Barracuda next door, wasn't he?
He was sat outside, couldn't get back in.
He
got beaten up sticking podcast stickers to people.
And I'll be honest, Bruce, we took longer than we probably should admit to decide we were not going to go back in and leave him outside.
I think we should have left him.
Well, there was a discussion longer than I'd care to admit. There was a discussion about that.
Just him walking down Car Lane at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to find somebody.
He was staying at Bruce's house. That was the thing.
Have you still got his pants?
I should have taken better care of him, to be fair.
You didn't have to share a room with him. You didn't have to share a room with him.
I had the letter from his mum signed to say that he was allowed to stay.
Please remember to wear your school uniform. You are representing the school at all times.
You didn't have to wake up 3 times in the day and he's walking past your start bollock naked.
Yeah,
I think we need to end this.
Stop it there.
Well, we're still on.
We're done. I think we're done.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the wonderful week of Grimsby Town. These don't come around that often, so do enjoy them. If you can get to Blundell Park, I know money's tight, but it's the time after 20-odd years you can finally start enjoying your Saturday afternoons rather than in anxiousness and in trepidation heading down to Blundell Park. We've got a good chance. We will do a crew preview show with the Railway Podcast. And Bruce, we are bringing back Steve. For those of you who don't know Steve, Steve was on the pod doing an interview when Bruce fell in a bush and then also went to the toilet with him and took him along. So we're going to reunite you both on Wednesday.
Marvellous.
Sorry.
Open wide for some
You want, Youngie?
Sorry. Yeah, I was just saying, Alistair Keenan's just sent a very nice message that I think you should put up because that's lovely.
Thank you, Alistair. It's very kind of you.
Yeah.
Alistair said, this is my first live one as I'm normally in Australia, but currently live in the UK for a quick visit on my way to Holland for work next week. Love to hear you all talk about the game and the banter. Thank you very much, Alistair. It is what we do it for, that and the copious amounts of money that no one else gets, but I do. Yeah, fun coupons. It's less dollars. It's more 2p's.
He's not even waited to the titles. Look, he's gone.
This is what Bruce does every time. So usually we'll finish it and we'll have this back up still, but we won't be live. We'll have a quick chat. Bruce gone. Doesn't care.
You'll get a text in about 30 seconds. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. That was great. Yeah, unbelievable.
Are we buying that pod shed with all this fun coupons?
Yes.
Wendy House.
I would really love if someone wants to sponsor. If we can get for a couple of grand, if we can find the most terrible motorhome, we will emblazon it with all your stuff, and that will be our pod vehicle, and we'll try and get to every away game in it, and we'll film it. And
yes.
Get some wheels,
and then we'll do pods at the game. Just imagine it rattling along.
Pete, you're listening to this, aren't you, Pete? Come on. one of your old vans from Free Qs. Come on.
You can set it off for tax purposes. You can offset it.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll do preview pods in it before the game and after the game. And yeah, you can film us that way until we realise we don't know how to organise it. And Youngie falls asleep in the back and ends up in Hampshire. So yeah,
I've woken up in worse places than Hampshire.
That's true. But thank you all so much. 1 minute and 1 hour and 23. You get this for free, people. So, buy a ticket at Blundell Park. If you want to send us some money for a motorhome, do. See you all later. Bye.
Open wide for some soccer!
And now the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 1130. Go! At 1130.
I don't think I've ever wanted to be in a stand more than my life running there. They're going crazy. Hey, they got a penalty here. There'll be fish flying about there. There's no tomorrow.
What a magnificent piece of football! A really